This is simply unbelievable. Just when everyone thought the Eagles roster was set, a bombshell just shook the NFL. And my friend, this decision promises to completely change the game in Philadelphia. You won't believe what has just been confirmed. The Philadelphia Eagles are experiencing a true preseason nightmare. What was supposed to be a smooth preparation for the regular season turned into a series of uncertainties that left even the most optimistic fans worried. During the 22-13 loss to the Cleveland Browns, the Eagles not only survived on the field, but were also forced to face a crisis at quarterback. With Jalen Hurts and Tanner McKee out of action, rookies Kyle McCord and Dorian Thompson-Robinson took over the responsibility of running the offense. However, their performance was far from impressive. The performance was so underwhelming that when the game ended, fans were more concerned about the team's future than the result itself. Overall, the Eagles they combined for just 88 yards. McCord managed 47 yards on 8 of 16 passes, and Thompson-Robinson had an even more disappointing performance. 17 yards and an interception that resulted in a Browns pick six. The situation raised an alarming question. If Jalen Hurts and Tanner McKee are injured, who will be the quarterback capable of holding the team together? The desperation is real. The Eagles can't count on McCord and Thompson-Robinson in an emergency. What then? Could a trade for a more experienced quarterback like Kenny Pickett be a viable solution? The former Eagles backup could provide the necessary security, but it also raises a big question. Would this quarterback, even with experience, be capable of managing a half with so many expectations? These questions make the Eagles' situation even more delicate. If Hurts and McKee are unavailable, the team could be in trouble. And worse, there are no clear signs that the team has an effective plan B to resolve the situation. This problem. Fans are undoubtedly wondering, will the Eagles be able to find a solution before the season starts? But as if that weren't enough, the Philadelphia Eagles' nightmare doesn't end there. The number 2 cornerback position is showing another major problem for the season. Nightmare at CB2. Who will replace Slay? The preseason also revealed a growing concern for the Eagles, now in the defensive backfield. Who will fill the number 1, second cornerback spot, a crucial position alongside Darius Slay? And, more importantly, who can guarantee the time against quality opposing receivers? In the loss to the Browns, the Philadelphia Eagles experimented with several options for the CB2 position. Kelly Ringo and Adoree Jackson were tested as the main alternatives, but the season also made rotations, bringing in newcomer Jacorian Bennett and other newcomers such as Eli Ricks and Mac McWilliams. However, nothing seemed to fit. Sabo Frame now. So, resabek min quarto brow mamay hell problemo. And with less than 3 weeks until the start of the regular season, this lack of a clear answer is a major concern. But what really scares Eagles fans is the absence of Isaiah Rodgers. In 2023, Rodgers proved to be a key player on defense with consistent and reliable performance. However, during the offseason, the team made a controversial decision to release him. The cornerback signed with the Minnesota Vikings for a 2-year, $11 million contract, a considerably modest sum. What seemed like a logical long-term decision now looks like a mistake. Rodgers was establishing himself as a great option to complete the defense alongside Slay, but his departure left a complicated package. Now the Eagles find themselves at a crossroads. With the season about to start, the lack of an experienced and reliable cornerback could be the difference between a successful campaign or a complete failure. While the team tries to correct this shortcoming with the arrival of Bennett via trade, the truth is, time is already running out, with a lack of solid answers for one of the defense's most important positions. If the Eagles' defense doesn't find an effective solution to this gap, the impact will be immediate. The lack of depth and constant turnover only increase the uncertainty. The pressure on the defense to compensate for the deficiencies at CB2 is palpable. Will the Eagles be able to solve this problem before the season starts? The answer is still open, but one thing is certain. The search for a reliable replacement for Slay has never been more urgent. Yes, the preseason was a huge shock for Philadelphia Eagles fans who took the field against the Cleveland Browns with high expectations. Even without the starters on the field, the offense developed by the rookies was expected to show clear signs of potential for the regular season. But what happened was a true disaster. The Eagles left the game with a 22-13 loss and a truly worrying performance, totaling just 88 tackles. For any NFL team, this would be alarming. But for a team aiming to return to the Super Bowl, it's even more so. With Kyle McCord and Dorian Thompson-Robinson as quarterbacks on the field, expectations were high, but the rookies couldn't find their rhythm. McCord, for the most part, dedicated himself to keeping up the pace. On 16 passes, he managed just 47 yards. Thompson-Robinson, on the other hand, performed even worse, totaling just 17 yards yards and an interception that resulted in a pick six, widening the Browns' lead. The Eagles managed just 33 rushing yards, averaging an alarming 1.7 yards per attempt. If this kind of performance were to be repeated in the regular season, the Eagles would have serious difficulty competing with stronger teams. To further illustrate the contrast, the Browns, with their well-coordinated defense, tallied an impressive 331 rushing yards, 132 of which were rushing, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. The disparity between the two teams was glaring. This is a clear sign that, at the moment, the Eagles' offense is at a significant disadvantage, and a recovery to start the season does not seem assured. The preseason and the lack of depth on offense. While the preseason is indeed an opportunity to test the roster and see what the newcomers have to offer, the lack of depth on offense is becoming a major concern. While preseason numbers don't always reflect the timing of players' starts, it's hard to ignore what happened against the Browns. If starters like Jalen Hurts or any other key offensive player are forced to miss any reason during the regular season, the Eagles could find themselves in trouble. This lack of consistency on offense needs to be addressed before the most important games begin. The shadow of injuries to the starting lineup also looms large over the Eagles, making it urgent to ensure the depth is solid enough to handle the burden of a long and competitive season. If time doesn't bring quick solutions, the 2024 season could become a constant struggle to maintain the level of performance expected of an elite season. However, not everything has been negative for the Eagles. While the offense has been a real concern, some defensive players have begun to shine. Rookie Drew Makuba had two impressive plays, recovering an interception and a fumble. This showed that, despite the challenges, there is talent on defense that can be leveraged to help offset offensive deficiencies. Additionally, linebacker Jihad Campbell had a strong performance, demonstrating his ability to contribute in key moments. These emerging players could become key players for the defense, but it's clear that this doesn't solve the offense's problems. With the Eagles' serious offensive issues, uncertainty at quarterback, and lack of definition at cornerback, will time be able to correct these flaws in time to compete at the highest level in the 2024 season? Or could these challenges jeopardize their Super Bowl ambitions? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.